What do you mean I tell you I'm married and you say happily? Big boom! What the do you mean I said no and you said why? Big boom! Big boom! Big boom! What do you mean I asked you to stop touching me and you proceeded to touch me even harder? Click! Boom!
These women would show me all types of love. They would buy me things, always want to be around me, always tell me that they love me and like me, and I would never reciprocate the energy.
I always find it interesting when I hear men get on the internet and like tell the truth. And I'm saying like not me, right? Like remove me from the situation. I have a different delivery and approach and all that stuff. I just find it interesting how men tell the truth in so many different ways, right? They tell the truth in so many different ways about exactly what's going on. And you just have to listen. You just have to listen. You got to piece it together. And don't get me wrong. Some men do it to manipulate. They'll tell the truth, but they're even in that they're doing it to manipulate women. I won't say they're pandering, because if you're telling the truth, I don't consider that to be pandering, to be honest with you. What I think you're doing is you're trying, you're grifting, right? Like you don't really believe it or whatever the case may be, because you will say that and then you will say something that contradicts that about women in 2 minutes, right? But nonetheless, I have so many examples of men just, saying the quiet part out loud or saying the thing that, that we know to be true about men. And they're just openly admitting it. They're just openly admitting it, or they're making a joke about it or whatever the case may be. But nonetheless, it's just men telling the truth. And sometimes it's refreshing. Sometimes, it's like, even as a man, I'm saying, because it's so hard to find content of men, telling the truth, that I'm at this point, I'm just taking it as it comes. I'm just like, as long as I can get a man telling the truth on camera, I'm gonna show it.
I'll tell you right now, I couldn't be a girlfriend. Cause what the fuck do you mean I told you I'm not interested and you keep following me around? Click, boom! What do you mean I told you I have somebody already and you say fuck him where he at anyway? Click, boom! What do you mean I asked you to stop touching me and you proceeded to touch me even harder? Click, boom! What do you mean I told you I'm not doing nothing with you tonight and you proceed to still try to drag me to the room? Click, boom! I couldn't be a girl, fam. I have a long ass rap sheet full of self-defense cases. Click, boom! I really could not be a woman, fam, because what do you mean you walked up on me, tried to use your smoothest one-liner, I reject you, and you turn around and say, bitch, fuck you, you ugly as hell anyway. Click, boom! Matter of fact, I'm gonna make it crazier. What do you mean you hit me with a one-liner, I reject you when you threatened to hit me? Click, boom! What do you mean you went to the bar, got us the same exact drink, but mine's look sparkly? Click, boom! What do you mean I tell you I'm a lesbian and you say, well, shit, you ain't met me yet? Click, boom! Click, boom! What do you mean I tell you I'm married and you say, happily? Click, boom! What the fuck do you mean I said no and you said why? Click, boom! Click, boom! Click, boom! What in the hell, bitch, do you mean if I can't have you, nobody else can? And ladies, I know this mainly about y'all, but this one can go for both sides. Click, boom! What do you mean you won't leave my fucking house? Click, boom! Click, boom! Click, boom! Click, boom! What do you mean I've been leading you on and you deserve it? Click, 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 oh.
Now, I'm going to say this. The only part that I hate, right? I don't like when y'all do the whole like it goes both ways. I ain't gonna hold that against him, but that's a little telling. It's like he was almost there and he had to drop that. Like, ladies, go both ways. No, it doesn't. Men do that. Men, again, of all the things, men are the main ones that's on that. Like, if I can't have you, nobody can. That's men doing that shit. But that's hilarious. That was true. It was really funny and it was really refreshing because it was so true. It was so true. Right? It was sad and it was, you could say it's disturbing and all of that, but it was like, yeah, man, yeah, we know that that's the truth. The thing is how did I'm going to give him the complete benefit of the doubt. He has never said that or done that to any woman himself, right? Like, I'm not going to assume that he has. But how does he know men do that type of stuff? How does he know that? Where has he heard all of these stories from? He's seen it. He's seen men do these things. Men observe men do the craziest shit, right? We observe men do the craziest shit. And then a very small group of us are willing to say, to speak up and be like, This is what men do, right? And acknowledge it to any extent. And we get fucking vilified. We get vilified. I'm sure if you go through that man's comments, you know, which I did, I looked at a lot of them. I really did. I was trying to find, you know, the men in there and, you know, blah, 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 and saying he was pandering and all of that shit. Because, no, anytime a man says anything like this, anytime a man calls out men, and even if it's tongue in cheek, if it's funny, it doesn't matter. Lighthearted, it doesn't matter. You know, he's going to get hit with the pandering. Oh, he a Sam, he a buster, right? But I didn't see any of those comments, so good for them. They were flooded with women, you know, acknowledging the truth and the validity of what this man was saying, obviously. But yeah, we all know that what he said was true. All those things were true. All those things were true. I've heard of men saying those things, and I've heard men say some of those things. Period, point fucking blank. Whatever. The what do you mean? I'm a woman. He goes up to a woman and says, you know, asks her out or whatever. Asks her, can he get her number? And she says, no, I got a boyfriend. And he say, well, you can't have friends. Click, boom, nigga. Like, yeah, get the fuck, leave that woman alone. I've seen that shit 100 times. Leave that woman alone. We've all seen things, some approximation of all the shit that he said. All of us have. It's just obvious, right?
I definitely hurt a lot of good people and ruined a lot of good relationships by acting like I didn't care, by being nonchalant. These women would show me all types of love. They would buy me things, always want to be around me, always tell me that they love me and like me, and I would never reciprocate the energy. Even though, deep down, I probably liked them and had deeper feelings than they did. And the only time I would express my feelings is when they finally leave after being tired of me pushing them away for so long. But here's the problem. If they did decide to come back, if they did decide to give me a second chance, I would act like I didn't care again. And that is why none of my exes hit me up. I understand it now. I'm better now, I promise.
So that goes directly against that whole like, oh, women don't like men to be vulnerable and blah, 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 blah. No. Men don't like to be vulnerable. Men don't want to be vulnerable. He described the way most men function in relationships. Women, is what he said not what most women experience? Are you not going through that right now with your husband, with your boyfriend, with some dude you talking to, some motherfucker being too nonchalant? Men need to be more chalant. We need to actually show that we care. We need to actually express our feelings. We're too busy trying not to do that, thinking that it's going to get like we're going to lose some type of power or whatever in the relationship, right? That's what most women are experiencing or have experienced in a relationship. He knows that. Again, he is saying the quiet part out loud, the part that men always like to downplay and act like, no, these women don't want you to cry in front of them. These women don't want you to be vulnerable. They're going to use it against you. It's you. It's me. It's men. It's not women. They can handle the vulnerability. They love it. They embrace it. That'll keep them there. Men being vulnerable will keep a woman there. What he was doing was pushing women away. The complete opposite of what men say women want. See what I'm saying? He's literally telling you, me being nonchalant is what drove women away from me. But men get on the internet every day and tell us, no, that's the thing that'll keep your woman there because your woman don't want you to cry in front of her. Your woman don't want you to express your deepest, darkest feelings about her. Not darkest, but deepest, truest feelings about her. That's what the men are telling other men, correct? This man is speaking from experience and being honest and acknowledging that, no, that's the thing that actually pushes women out of your life for good. What Umar say? For good. For good. Again, an example, man telling the truth. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I embrace it wholeheartedly. And to piggyback off of that, what that man described, him being nonchalant, right? And he talked about spinning the block on the woman. Let's get into why men spin the block. The nonchalant men that don't want to express how they feel about a woman, don't want to show how they really feel about a woman. Why do you even want to be with a woman, right? But really, why do you spin the block on a woman? Why do you come back? What's that about?
Because I miss you. I'm not calling your phone because I thought about what I did and how I hurt you and how you're the best thing that ever happened to me. I give you these random check-ins, right? I pop in and out every so often, right? Just to see if I still got it. Just to see if I still have access to you. Just to see if I can say all of the right things at the right time. And before you know it, I'm right back in your house. I'm right back in your mouth. I'm right in between your thighs. I got your back on an emotional roller coaster just to disappoint you again. A lot of times you women, you think that when we call you, when we checking up on you with a hey and how's the family, it's not about your family. It's not even about you. It's for validation of self. I have to know as a man, yeah, I did what I wanted to you. I cheated on you. I lied on you. I had babies on you. I never planned on doing right by you. But I still can have access to you, and it's the ultimate flex. I'm not checking in because I seen your mom at the mall. I never liked your mom. But I do like the fact that I can come disturb your peace every chance that I get. I do like the fact that every time you get close to a man or even think about a relationship, I pop right up, right on time to fuck everything up. Am I lying? Get your tickets to see me.
Exactly. He now he's one of the ones that I was talking about. That dude, this dude's a grifter, right? Like he says in one breath he'll say something true about women, and then in the next breath he'll contradict himself. I've shown videos of him literally like saying something about women one day and then saying the complete opposite about women the next day. He just goes wherever the breeze blows him, whatever's going to get him the clicks, the views, the likes, sell him the tickets to show up to his show. Don't get me wrong, but again, you just have an example of a man telling the truth. Like he was telling the truth. Everything he said, I 100% agree with. And it's an extension. It actually is an extension of what the gentleman before was talking about. That's the nonchalant man. That's the man. He ain't did no growing or whatever. He just spin the block just because he can. That's why he can get back with her. Why would you want to get back with somebody just to treat them exactly the fucking same as you did before? Because you can, to prove something to yourself. That's what the men be doing. That's what the men be doing. So we can see that men understand. We can see that men get it. But when you listen to men, it's like most men don't want to talk about it. Most men can't just come flat out and say the shit because they're so afraid of how they're going to be received by the cult, right? So that dude, for an example, that last dude, like the grifter dude, he does this shit for clicks and views or whatever, right? But he masks what he says by doing the it goes both ways shit. So he'll, like I said, he'll say something about women, he'll say something about men, say something about act like it's being balanced, but there's no balance in this. Men are atrocious. It's not like women are as bad as men or even bad. It's like men are fucking atrocious and women aren't. So there is no balance. There is no both ways. It's definitely tilted, and the tilt is men are terrible. It's dragging everything down, right? And then you have the other man in the middle. The second guy, he just told his truth. But then the first guy, he has to tell it in the form of a joke. He has to tell it in the form of a joke. Because if he just came flat out and had a serious conversation with it, right? Oh, he pandering. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, here he goes. Like, when I talk about how dangerous men are, when I talk about how women are avoiding men because of how weird men are and how awkward men are and how unsafe men are, they call me a panderer. When he does it, click, boom, click, boom. It's funny. We all keep keying and yada, yada, yada. He's saying the same shit. Listen to what he's saying. He just saying men are dangerous. He's saying men are dangerous. Like, if you, at the core of what he's saying men are dangerous. I couldn't be a woman because men are dangerous. That is what he is saying. I say the same fucking thing. See what I'm saying? The presentation is different, but the same shit at its core. The presentation is different. If you can add a little caveat in there, if it goes both ways and you make it into a joke and you keep, the men are, they won't even accept this, by the way. They still won't accept that as the truth, but they won't come for you. They'll still turn a blind eye to this. Again, because like I said, I went through all the comments. 99% of them are from women acknowledging that what he said was the truth. You don't really find men in these comment sections going, yeah, he ain't lying. Men are weird. You're not really finding that too often. You finding women, though, validating it because it's their real world lived experiences. I just want men to get into a habit of telling the truth. Just get into the habit of speaking up and speaking out against the harms that women, are suffering at the hands of men. Like, let's talk about that. Let's wake that up. That's okay. It's okay for you to do it and not in a joking way. It's okay for you to do it in a serious way. The same dude, my guy that does the we are not doing that. Bloop, block. That dude, hilarious. But if you he is saying, like, he is literally addressing misogyny. That is what he is doing. He's just doing it in a comical way, in a comedic way. But let's get used to having the conversations in a serious way so we can actually get to the core of them. And that's why I say, though, jokes are important. I love when the men tell jokes like that. We need more of those jokes. I'm not saying stop doing that. I'm saying, but let's also have more men have the serious conversation too. We need it all. That's the level. It's levels to it. You got the jokes, right? You start with, same thing with the level with the pyramid of abuse. You got the jokes on the bottom, right? It starts with a joke. It starts with a thought. It's the same thing for being like, for combating misogyny. It starts with a thought. It starts with the joke. That's fine. But let's escalate. Let's elevate. Let's get to the next level. Let's actually address what's going on. Let's get to the root cause of it. Let's get to the core of it. Let's stop being on the surface all the fucking time. Let's stop being shallow. Let's really wake that shit up. Let's really wake it up. But shout out to the men for telling the truth, man, on a Wednesday. Everybody except for that old boy, the last dude. I don't respect that cat. Like I said, he a grifter. I ain't gonna hold you. He a grifter. I ain't gonna let that shit slide till he stops grifting.